And welcome back to the Gadget Spot.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, man. It's been a great 2 weeks.
It's winter down here.
Must stop playing Super Smash. Putting away.
Put it away.
Putting away.
Put it away, James. That's for later.
He took it out.
Ooh.
I saw
He
on
took it
Twitter that somebody already unlocked the full roster 2 days ago.
There's a lot of people that have, because there's that cheat.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm not cheating.
No. My friend who tweeted that didn't do it by cheating.
Oh, really?
Was it Joe Reedy that tweeted that out?
That was my friend, Ghostbuster Bob.
Bob,
yeah, that's who it was.
He figured it out?
No, he
Did he do it without cheating?
He did it without cheating.
He just played it that much.
Yeah.
Who does that? Who's like, I'm out. I hate this game. Power off.
That's the nice
Quit.
thing about a game like that is you don't have to do anything special to unlock the characters. You just play it. Unlike freaking Black Ops 4, where if you want to unlock other characters to play as in Blackout mode, you have to do these ridiculous things like find the poker chips in this location on the map and then place in the top 5.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
It's like, what?
Yeah, but,
Come on.
But to be fair, though, if you think about the other iterations of Super Smash Brothers, they did make you go through some hoops.
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I want
I
to
remember
say
the first one. You had to like complete the single player.
Yeah, it was
thing,
like you'd
right?
have to kill or smack those like targets or something. In a certain amount of
Yeah,
time.
they did have that. That's right.
But that being said, I will admit the one kind of negative thing with that though is you're playing with a bunch of friends and you're having a great time, and out of nowhere, like you have a random encounter, and whoever won the last match,
That's true.
and it's like I don't really want to do this right now. Can I save it and then I want to keep playing with my buddies?
We'll talk more about that later.
Indeed. So this is the Gadget Spot where we talk about games, if you couldn't tell.
Whoop whoop.
Technology and gadgets. Let's go ahead and introduce the panel. Owen.
Hey, everyone. My name's Owen. I'm trying to give social media a break, but you can follow me on Twitter.
How's that any different than
You're just
how
barely
you
giving it a
normally
break?
do it?
Well, I'm trying to give Facebook a break.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, Twitter. I've been trying to not give it a break. I've actually been trying to be more active on there. I think I tweeted 3 times last month. Boom. So,
It's up 50%.
yeah, that's up a lot. Anyway, you can follow me on there if you want at TechNoan. I typically just lurk on there. That's what I do.
Indeed. Just like your picture.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice. You been playing anything lately?
Nope. Was really kind of bummed. We were hoping to get Super Smash Brothers.
Got to get a Switch first.
But I had to get a Switch first, and so that didn't really work out. So because we're gonna get the Switch for a gift.
Christmas times?
Yeah,
For your
Christmas
kids?
times. Yep. So.
Hey, it's a pre-played Switch. Yay.
Yeah.
It's a pre-approved
Dad, this looks
Switch.
opened.
Dad.
There's a save data.
There's save data. Why is there Mountain Dew
already-
spilled on it?
Listen. Let me look at it. I better look at it. I better look at that right now. Hold on. Let me.
5 hours later.
5 years later.
Give it here.
Yeah.
That seems fine.
Yeah. Seems good. Anyway, here you go. Yeah. So other than that, haven't really done a lot of games this last couple weeks.
All right.
That's it.
You've
Fair
been
enough.
playing the game of life, and you've been coming in 3rd place.
I've been trying to avoid saying that phrase since Jarron made fun of me up last time.
Oh.
I worked.
Jarron.
Hey, I am Jarron. Although I don't have the word tech in front of my name on Twitter, I still like tech, and I know about tech.
Who is Tech Jarron on Twitter?
I don't know. Probably doesn't exist.
He's
Buy
not
it.
giving that name up, though.
But you
James
can find
is
me on
gonna
Twitter
James is gonna go do it.
at Jarron, Jarron. And I have been playing 4 different games.
Whoa.
Yeah. I like to spread myself thin. First game I've been playing, Battlefront 2. There's a new Geonosis map out with General Grievous and young Obi-Wan. It's fun. I bought it on PC.
Is it
and,
raining
no.
on the map?
It doesn't rain on Geonosis.
Isn't that where the clones were made?
No. Geonosis is where is like the Marzi planet.
End of
Oh.
Clone Wars, where they had the Colosseum battle.
I
Yeah.
see. Dang.
I understand why you pushed that out of your mind. Though.
There's there's games out there that they have a really troubled release, and the developers work on it and kind of redeem themselves over time, like No Man's Sky.
Mm-hmm.
I think Battlefront 2 deserves that.
Oh, okay.
They have added quite a few maps since launch. They completely redid the whole loot box thing, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's super cheap. I bought it for $8. And
What system did you say you're playing it on?
I'm playing on PC right now.
Cool.
But I also have it on Xbox.
How much did you pay for it?
$8 on PC.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But it's a fun game, and there's no DLC, so you don't have to worry about paying even more than that. And if you like Battlefield with Star Wars, that's what Battlefront is, and you should give it a chance.
So how good are you?
I'm horrible.
You're playing with a bunch of other
I
PC
am
Master Race
so
players.
horrible.
A shooter game.
It feels like they accelerated the battle points you get because I'm already on level like 23.
They probably did to have
And-
people
Oh
catch
man,
up.
in the first Battlefront, it was slow.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think I ever even got to level 23.
I probably played it like 5 hours. I'm on level 23.
Nice.
What
Yeah.
time do you have time to play? Like, are you from like 9 until like 11?
No, I play like 20 minutes here and there, you know.
Cool.
But I had it the week of Thanksgiving, so that helped quite a bit.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Game number 2, Battlefield 5. I'll talk about that a little bit more.
This guy's all about the dice.
Yeah. Oh man, it looks so. It's seriously the best graphics I've ever seen. It is truly next gen.
The 3
It's
minutes it was
awesome.
working on your computer, it looked pretty good.
Well, they released an update and it works great. So I'll talk about that later.
Nice.
Yeah.
What else? Number 3.
Number 3, I forgot. Oh, no, Black Ops 4. The
You're into shooters right now, man.
I am, yeah. So
violent.
I've been playing the Battle Royale mode, Blackout. I am so horrible at Blackout. I've played 10 rounds, half with a friend, half by myself. Have not got a single kill. I've inflicted maybe 20 damage, and your health is 150, per round. Yeah. There's this one time I got out of the helicopter like last. I'm like, okay, there's no one following me. There's no one in my area. So I'm walking around a house getting loot. I open up the door to a bathroom, and suddenly I'm on fire. I'm like, what the heck? How did I just die?
Did you accidentally walk into a fireplace?
No. There was a guy in the attic above me. Just
No.
he somehow knew I was in that house,
And you can light
about to
people on
walk into
fire?
into the bathroom. He like dropped
Molotov,
a
man.
Yeah, Molotov cocktail.
Awesome.
Right?
It's like how did that guy know? And then
If you can understand the flow of that game and actually get to the point where you can, kill the other players, it's a lot of fun.
it's so
you got to
hard.
get to that point where you can kill the other players.
There is some satisfaction in playing a battle royale game and killing somebody and knowing that you just ended their game.
Especially when there's no respawn.
That's horrible
Eat it
because
up.
5 games in a row when I was playing solo, I didn't last longer than 1 minute.
Here's
Then
the
do you
reason.
have to sit there and wait for the game to end?
Yeah.
The round?
No,
end?
No,
you leave the
can-
match
Oh,
and you
okay.
go back in.
Oh.
But you have to
Here's
wait
the
for it
thing:
to
is
load.
we're so used to playing games with basically zero stakes. You die, you respawn,
Well,
you
that's
keep going.
that's Call of Duty in a nutshell.
Yeah, and that's a load of duty. But when you play battle royale games,
Oh.
there is stakes. You're more careful with your life. You're not
No,
just
I'm
gonna
not.
run and gun. Oh well.
That's maybe why you haven't ever got a kill and you die so quickly.
The thing is, I wasn't even trying to kill people when I died. They just were there. They knew I was there, but I didn't
That's
know
why
they
I
were
don't play
there.
PUBG anymore, man. I played it one night with headphones on, and it scared the crap out of me. Because out of nowhere, I'd hear a random gunshot, and then I'd be dead.
Do you when you die on those games? Do you just when I play those games, if I'm dying and I know I'm going to get killed, I just pull all my grenades. I'm like, anybody within blowing up distance should go with me.
No, you can't do that. Once you're dead, you're dead. You can't pull a grenade when
Oh.
you're dead.
Is it a one-shot kill? Type
Yes.
Oh, that's horrible.
Essentially, in Blackout.
That's okay. Play Halo.
Well, at least how Jarron sees it, it's one shot kill.
Yeah.
One Molotov kill.
I hear a shot, then I'm dead.
I play Halo, and when I know I'm cornered and I've made a mistake,
You start
I
spamming
start
the grenades.
I start throwing the grenades on the ground at my feet.
That's what's nice about Battlefront. It's a little bit more forgiving because once you get shot once, you still have time to
Yeah.
get out of there.
Hmm.
Anyway, and Super Smash Brothers
Nice.
How many characters you unlock?
3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
20 minutes at a time.
Got to pump up those numbers. Got to pump them up.
Yep. Just like that.
All right, James. I think you've
Hey.
been playing Smash.
Oh, man. Yeah. My problem is, what's up, guys? My name's James. You catch me on Twitter.
That is a problem.
JDD's
Huge.
for ADD.
That's probably the problem of your life right there.
Yeah, tell me about it. So, wait, what did I say was the problem?
Yourself.
Your
Oh,
name.
yeah.
Yourself.
You try opening a bank account with the name James. It's like being named Vanilla in Utah. Anywho, so my problem is I'm inundated with too many games that I want to play right now.
He's living the good life.
Yeah, so
how it is, man.
Pokemon Let's Go, I got up to 3 badges, and then I'm like,
Pokemon Let's Don't.
I like what you did there. And then I got Diablo, started playing Diablo, and then I got about halfway through that game, through the season.
I think I'm going to get that one for Switch.
Why don't you just borrow mine?
But, I mean, I might borrow it for a long, long time.
That's totally fine.
okay.
I don't know when I'm going to pick it up.
Can I get in line before him? Like, can I
it's
just
already
butt
done.
in
It's
front of
already
him?
done. I'm borrowing. I might borrow it and give you some money and just keep it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll give you a $1 more than whatever
Shut up.
he'll give you.
This isn't the Price is Right. Go away.
I'll
turn your microphone off.
$2.
$3.
American dollars.
All right, keep going.
And then, surprise, surprise, Super Smash Brothers. So I have a hacked Switch where I actually ended up getting.
I thought it was your friend.
You mean your friend?
It's
Your friend
me. Nah,
does.
it's me. I don't care. I have a hacked Switch, and I started playing Super Smash Brothers. Not this Monday, but the Monday before.
So
a week ago today.
a week ago, yeah.
And I put probably about 5 hours into it, and then the game got corrupted, and I'm just like, whatever, that's fine, that's totally fine, because I can't save any of the data and transfer it over. So I'm like, whatever I'm doing here, I just have to do over. Yeah. So lo and behold, I got this copy, and I've sunk at least 12 hours into it. Just had a blast, man. I freaking
Are you playing
love Super Smash.
the Spirit Adventure?
I'm doing everything.
It's fun, huh?
Spirit Adventure confuses
awesome.
me.
It's just pretty cool. So the thing you need to know about Spirit Adventure that took me like 2 hours to realize is as you play, your spirits level up with you that you're using at the time.
What does that do for you, though?
More power.
Yeah.
It makes your character stronger.
And each spirit has different qualities. Like
Exactly.
one will give you poison resistance for the poison maps. One will give you fire resistance. One
There's
will.
too many spirits, though.
It's kind of
Way
like
too many.
Just let the computer decide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can let the computer give you the best combination or what it thinks is anyway.
Yeah, there's 3 different types. There's attack, defense, whatever the green one
Neutral.
is. Neutral. No, that's purple. And then whatever the green one is. I don't remember. Anywho, green beats blue, blue beats red, red beats green. Just think of Pokemon.
I should look that up because I just let the computer do whatever.
Oh yeah,
it says is the
that's
best.
solid.
But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, think of the spirits as kind of like armor in an RPG. You want armor that does certain aspects sometimes, even though it might not be
Gives you different attributes.
the highest like power level. If it's got certain attributes that might be better.
I am pleased that they chose Kirby to survive everything.
It's weird to me that Kirby was the one that survived.
Kirby's the best.
I read an interesting article about that actually.
I understand why they want Kirby to be the first playable character.
So
Well,
at the
there's-
beginning of the game, they have Galeem or whatever destroy all the characters
Okay.
except for Kirby.
I didn't miss something, right? When I started that game, it starts off
It starts off right in the middle.
just right in the middle of their final battle, and
Yeah.
then they all lose.
Yep.
Okay. So they don't tell
Whoa,
you anything
spoiler
about
alert.
what Galeem is. Or,
Uh-uh.
okay, good. I was wondering if I missed something.
Galeem is basically like the boss of Master Hand.
Right. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you don't know where he came from or anything. Like
Can
that.
we take a second to realize Galeem's light beam killed everybody, but it bounced off the Hyrule shield twice?
Yeah,
Did
but
you
then
see
but
that?
then the shield crumbled, just like in Twilight.
Yeah, but it withstood it.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
It's the Hylian shield, man.
Wait, what'd you say?
The Hylian shield.
The Hylian shield?
No, Hylian.
It crumbles and you have to pick up a new one because the weapons suck in that game.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But I read a really interesting article that talked about why Kirby is the one that survived.
Why?
And there's 2 reasons. One, the creator,
best.
creator of Smash Brothers is also the creator of Kirby, and he just really loves that character.
Me too.
And 2, this is a much deeper conspiracy-laden style explanation, but basically, if you go through the Kirby lore starting from the beginning all the way up to his most recent games,
Who tracks this stuff?
somebody did.
The same
I think
people that
this-
put together the Pixar lore.
I think this was a Polygon article. Anyway, it basically talks about how all the things that Kirby fights along the way as his games progress, because they're all kind of tied together. The main boss usually gives way to another main boss that's over that boss, kind of a thing as the games go on. And they're almost the term they use for it, they're almost Cthulhian in their scope and power. So if you know what that means, basically it's
like
like
the octopus thingy?
yeah, like
Wait, what do you mean Cthulian?
so Cthulhu is
Big
the
octopus.
H.P. Lovecraft
Yeah.
god, it was one of those ancient god beings that was before time was around,
Yeah.
and it's got like ultimate power, and it's basically like those are the kinds of things that Kirby fights. Ultimately, is these beings of like unimaginable power and age, and so he would be the one that survives when Galeem destroys everyone else because he's already kind of he's done this kind of thing before. It is interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And also Kirby's just the best.
That's and
I do feel
and the
like-
designer really likes Kirby, so
And if you think about it, Kirby can be any character.
yeah.
So
he can take whatever power he wants.
Yeah.
After he eats them. All right. So I'm Tony, by the way. Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony, or always here every other week on the Gadget Spot, or every week on the Geek Show.
Boing, boing, boing.
And gaming-wise, I've been playing Smash Brothers, not nearly as much as James, but definitely more than Jarron.
Going back to Kirby,
I'm going to put a jacket on. It's freezing down here.
I told you earlier.
it would be so hard to design that character because any new character you add, you have to redesign Kirby too.
No, you don't. You just put a hat on him.
Yeah, and then give him new powers.
You just take the powers of the other thing and add it to his.
Yeah, you have to do new artwork and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Take
you
whatever
would.
the
Yeah.
B button on that
That's what I'm
character is
saying.
and just,
I don't think it's
retool it.
hard, though. It's just a little bit more work.
Exactly.
So I've been playing that. Still playing a lot of Destiny 2. Having a really good time with that one. And then Black Ops 4 on the Xbox.
You chose the wrong platform.
I still got to try out
Nah.
Destiny 2.
I got lots of people to play with on the Xbox.
Yeah,
How
I'm
many
sure you
people do you have
have-
to play with on the PC?
I'm sure you have a lot of friends.
I do.
More than one.
But as it stands, side note, I probably will get it on the PC because it seems like they actually took my advice. They listen to this podcast.
Wait,
by the way.
what game are you
Activision-
talking about?
Activision does. They listen to this podcast.
Hello, Activision.
Yeah, Bobby Kotick. He's a subscriber.
He's a good friend of yours.
No, but he's a subscriber.
Yeah, I'm
Do you
sure he
call him-
is.
Do you call him Bob?
I call him Bobby Kotick.
Oh, okay.
And just in case you listeners think he actually is, he isn't.
No.
Not at all.
Uh-uh.
No.
Don't
I
break
wish.
the fourth wall.
But anyway, if you're a listener of this podcast, probably 8 months ago or 6 months ago, I said, if they want to sell me Black Ops 4, and I already went back on this because I bought it already on Xbox, but I said specifically, if you want to sell me Black Ops 4, sell it to me cheaper than you would a regular Call of Duty game because it has no single player. And so what did they do on PC? They went and chopped off the zombies, which I don't play anyway, and they're selling it for $30 now. It's got Blackout and the regular multiplayer.
They think Zombies is worth $30?
Well, it's on sale.
It's on sale for 10 off. Yeah. So after January 6th, they'll be selling it for 40.
Oh.
So they think it's worth $20 basically.
Eh.
I've never got into the zombies, so I am totally happy paying $30 for what is, if you ask me, the best battle royale game on the market right now.
It is a lot of fun despite my constant losing.
How much time have you put into Fortnite?
Fortnite?
Yeah.
I don't know.
In
45 minutes?
In order to make a comment like that, I feel like it needs to be.
I like the game mechanics better.
Fair enough.
On Blackout. It's just Fortnite, I don't want to worry about building. Forget that. I want better aiming mechanics, which I probably would have if I'd play it on PC.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan
But
of the art
on-
direction either in Fortnite.
I don't mind the art
You get
direction,
used to it.
but the aiming mechanics on Xbox, they don't feel nearly as good as the aiming mechanics in Blackout.
Fair enough.
So anyway, in my humble opinion, Blackout is the best battle royale on the market right now. But yeah, those are the 3 games I've been playing mostly, and I think that's it. So let's get on with the show. We got some Patreon to talk about because we have awesome Patreon subscribers.
Yeah, we do. Owen, what's Patreon?
It's a place where you can come and help us out. Donate to the show, get some cool perks, right?
Would you also refer to it as a digital shipper?
Not that. A digital tip jar, James.
Oh, sick!
That's what I would. That's what I.
Just so much better
Zig-
talking than I'm.
Digital jip jar.
I think you oversold it here. I don't think they're cool perks. They're just perks.
They're
oh.
perks. They're
Yeah.
not.
They're cool.
They're okay.
It's
no,
like
they're cool.
it's like-
James's work is the coolest work I've ever seen.
Let's just say this: if you're donating to our Patreon, we're super thankful,
Yeah.
and you're basically just helping the show in general.
it's like a tip at a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
Only we're better than a restaurant because you can listen to us anytime you want.
And I'll never spit in your food.
I don't know. I've been to some restaurants that taste pretty good.
So anyway, if you donate $6 or above, we read your name aloud on the show.
Boom.
So here we go. Big thank you. Shout out to Adam Hecht, AJ Jasper, David Broshinsky, and Aaron Young. Thank you guys. Ryan Baker, Aaron Faulkner, Bloodborne is better than Uncharted. Derek Bauer, Adam Foote, Spencer Knowlton, Valentine, Kevin Eccles, Ryan McQueen, Johnny Rios, Derek Allred, Michael Beck, Jeffrey Kale, Roger Allen, Austin Beauregard, Morty, Brian Lee, Conrad Southworth, and Austin. I didn't sigh because of you. I sighed because of James.
Well said.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
All right. Thank you, Patreon subscribers. You are awesome. All right. We have a couple of emails. I got a quick one here from Joe Reedy. And I mean, from Bloodborne is better than Naughty Dog? Uncharted. All those games?
Yeah.
I disagree as well, but it's still funny to see your face. That sour look you get when you have to say it.
Like, is that Dark Souls? Is that
It's the
early
same company.
Dark Souls?
No,
Yeah.
no, it came after.
It's a different game.
Yeah, but
Okay.
After 2, before 3.
yeah, I think so. All right, so he writes in, how do you deal with the metal plate on your phone case for use with the car magnet when doing the wireless charging? I tried it and it was too thick most of the time. If I could get it to charge, the plate got very hot. I have to take my case off every night. iPhone XS and the anchored wireless charger.
That's worse than just plugging your phone in,
Yeah, it's not good for you.
taking it out of the case.
Oh, I thought you meant the hot plate.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a pain to have to take it out of the case every night. So I sent him a picture of my phone case where I've just slid the plate down further so it's not over the charging element. And I was like, that's what I do. And he's like, oh, seemed obvious, but never occurred to me. So there you go, Joe. There are a couple other options as well. The main thing you need to know is they usually put the charger element right in the middle of the back of the phone. So as long as you're not putting the metal plate right on the middle, just slide it down. You should be fine. But like I said, there are a few other options out there from companies that sell magnetic wireless chargers for your car. I saw a few of those on Amazon. I was actually looking at them about 3 days ago, coincidentally. And what they do is they have a plate that's either a circle with no middle, so it looks like a thin donut of metal, so that the charging goes through the hole that's there, or there's some that have a big U, and so it's just like got no bottom and it's hollow and it's just like a not closed donut.
Like a horseshoe.
Like a horseshoe, yes, perfect.
Like a U.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
Like a horseshoe?
So those will work on almost any car magnetic mount, but they're kind of designed specifically to work especially well with the ones that they come with. So yeah, you got a couple options there. I'm a cheapo, so I just slid it down. But yeah, there you go, Joe.
We got a few messages to go over. First one from Cody Taylor, short and sweet. What is Google Fi and do I need it? So
short and sweet. It's
kind of a big
awesome and yes.
It's
Well,
kind of a
it
big
depends.
question.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Google Fiber.
Yeah. So
Not Fi.
Google Fi is a MVNO that Google has. So for those of you who don't know what MVNO is, an MVNO is basically a company that purchases wireless spectrum signal from the big four, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, and T-Mobile.
Well, you can't count Sprint anymore.
Yeah, and they resell it. So like
They're almost like a wireless middleman.
yes.
A cellular signal middleman.
So
It's like the big ones subletting there.
Exactly.
They're like, we're not using this, so if you want to buy it, it's a guaranteed
Guaranteed
revenue for them, and then they let Google or whoever worry about selling it to the customer.
yeah, so Google just basically repackages it, sells it to the consumer. But what Google Fi is, it's a little bit different. So they license spectrum from both T-Mobile and Sprint.
I don't know why you would even bother to license from
It
Sprint.
says 3 mobile networks.
Yeah.
And US Cellular.
I was going to
but
say the other one's a
they're-
small one.
They're so small, it doesn't really matter. But Google Fi will automatically connect your phone to the strongest signal between those three carriers, and it can be cheap. That actual service only works with a limited number of phones,
It's been expanded a lot.
Any unlocked
Wait-
phone at this point.
with caveats.
Yeah, with
So,
caveats.
for example, if it's not an officially supported Google Fi phone, it will restrict you to just the T-Mobile network. It won't do the automatic switching to Sprint, US Cellular. So that's how iPhone does it. It won't switch to the separate networks.
So you're basically
other-
getting T-Mobile at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Just
But you get some other cool stuff too, right?
repackaged T-Mobile.
You get some other cool features too, like so if it's a Google Fi enabled location, so Google's gone out and contacted a whole bunch of people. It's like Cubbies here in Lehigh.
They're Google Fi enabled?
They're Google Fi enabled.
I
You
didn't
walk
know that.
in there, your phone automatically connects to their Wi-Fi, builds a VPN tunnel, and encrypts all your traffic from your phone out, and so all your calls and data and everything is encrypted. over a publicly accessible Wi-Fi network, which is really cool.
And you're not using your data, right?
And you're not using your data.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought Google Fi was unlimited anyway.
No. The way it works is it's $10 for every gigabyte.
Up to six.
Up to six.
Up to
Then
six,
you get
and then it's unlimited.
unlimited till 16 or 15, and then after that it's still unlimited, but you get knocked down to 256.
What's your guys' internet usage? Like, as far as like how much do you think you actually use outside of Wi-Fi?
Even when I'm on vacation with my phone or on a business trip, I still don't usually go over 5 or 6 gigs.
We come in. We have a 16 gig plan that we share. We come in close to 12 because I got
We have a family
2 kids.
plan. Yeah.
2 kids, and I do a lot of streaming on Plex and audiobooks and stuff like that. So
that's Google Fi.
I put the link to all the data. There's a ton of other features in there, and basically answering your questions of why you want it, and all, which is pretty broad, but it's in the show notes, so we'll post that, Cody, there. Thanks for the email.
Yep. Okay, another one from Brian Lee, who is a tech daddy. Thank you very much. Hey guys, my 14-year-old son Alex is looking to build his first gaming PC. What would be a good build for someone that doesn't have a lot of money but is wanting to join the PC Master Race? Welcome to the Master Race, Brian.
Thank you for considering.
There's so many options. That's what's so fun about this.
He said, mainly looking for advice on a graphics card, processor, and RAM. Thanks so much for your help.
Right now is a good time to get into it because prices are actually starting to come down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, me and Tony chatted with Brian on Facebook.
Yeah,
about some graphic cards, and so we kind of put in the right direction there as far as what costs.
What did you guys suggest?
So he said he was looking about $300, and so
for a graphics card.
For a graphics card, that's what he said he's kind of looking at, and we said for $300 you should definitely be able to get a 1070.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you wanted to go AMD for $300, you could get the 590.
That's
which that's a decent card as well. That sits in between the 1060 and the 1070 performance wise, but definitely much closer to the 1070.
What's nice about AMD though is FreeSync.
FreeSync is sweet,
and it's super cheap on monitors.
And you get right now you get 3 really cool games, in my opinion, or potentially good games for free. When you buy a 590, you get Resident Evil 2 Remake, which comes out in January, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I believe.
Yeah.
And then the third one was one I didn't care about as much, Devil May Cry, the new Devil May Cry that's coming out. But so yeah, those are good options CPU wise. i5 or a Ryzen 5.
I have a 1500X,
That's good.
Ryzen 1500X. I've overclocked it to 3.8 gigahertz, and it's been great for me.
The new one's coming out, isn't it? Some of the specs they're the 27. Well, they're at the 2700 now, right?
Yeah.
That's currently what they're in now.
Yeah.
But the 36 and 37s have been.
Yeah,
leaked.
I was going to talk about that. Maybe I'll mention that briefly when we get to that. But yeah, RAM has come down in price finally.
Yeah.
Solid states have come down a lot in price recently.
If you do AMD though, I would get 3200 megahertz RAM.
Definitely a good suggestion because AMD's CPU speed is tied very closely to its RAM latency and RAM speed. So you want to get faster clocked RAM if you're going to go AMD. If you're not, if you're going to go with Intel, then your RAM matters a lot less, the speed. So, but yeah, your best option if you want to go full out on it, basically, is just go to PCPartPicker.com, and that website does a pretty good job of letting you pick parts that will not
compatibility.
Yeah,
right?
that will not conflict.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And one last message from Benjamin. Just wanted to drop my 2 cents about the game, Fallout 76, and also from Tony's comments about it on Geek Show. I'm somewhat with the community on them dropping the ball, but
They did for sure.
But I think what we have with it currently is very similar to No Man's Sky when it was released.
I also agree with that.
It took a while, but with all the post-release content, ... Fallout should have done better, sure, but ... Thoughts?
I agree with what he's saying. I think that the Fallout 76 has good bones. I think that they can definitely build something really good with it eventually, but they released it too soon, if you ask me.
I think one major difference with No Man's Sky, though, is the public didn't run away with their imaginations on Fallout 76.
Oh, they did.
They did?
Oh, yeah.
I guess I'm just not part of that community.
No, you're not, because you didn't play the other Fallout games. People were very hyped for Fallout 76, and especially when Todd Howard goes around saying things like maps 4 times the size of Fallout 4 and graphic fidelity 16 times better.
Oh, that's just not true.
Fallout 4. No, that is a flat out lie. The size of the map might be accurate, but the
Yeah.
graphic fidelity, the game looks like a slightly on PC. It looks like a slightly modded version of Fallout 4. So it looks okay in some aspects, and other aspects is this game 5 years old?
I'll say this: Black Ops 4 looks better than it,
It does. No, you're right. It does,
and that's not a compliment.
in most aspects. There are a few aspects that Fallout 76 does look better, such as their god rays and some of their environmental stuff, but it definitely needs some work. But it's got good bones, and I really hope that Bethesda keeps working on it and doesn't give up on it, so that we can get something good here in maybe months or years down the road.
Oh, hey, one more thing from Twitter.
Uh-huh.
Did you guys see from Jordan Waterman? He said, "Quick, what's the best cable/router under 150?"
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we weren't quick about that at all.
No, we were not quick about that at all. Sorry, that was on December the 6th. He tweeted us that. So
yeah,
hopefully
that
he's
was
found
a
a
big-
solution.
4 days ago.
Yeah.
That was a busy
So,
day,
yeah.
right? For
Yeah.
all of us?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
I
Definitely.
don't remember what I was busy
I
doing.
went to the
but
bathroom.
The problem with a question like that and a quick answer is there's so many variables
That's why I didn't
and
answer.
so many models to choose from, especially
Yeah.
in that price range.
And when you talk about cable modems too,
Yeah, I don't know how much Netgear charges, but they do have, I saw the other day, a combo that's a DOCSIS 3 modem with a Netgear Nighthawk Wi-Fi built into it.
Oh, that's cool.
So it looked pretty cool, but I think it was more expensive. It was like $250 somewhere.
I
around
always just
there.
go with the base modem because I don't care about the signal interchange, and then get my own router that's powerful or firewall that's
Yeah.
powerful after the fact.
I think that's a good idea.
I don't like them combined.
From what I've seen, just off the top of my head, your DOCSIS 3 modems are going to run you between $60 and $100,
Yeah.
depending on the one you get.
not all DOCSIS modems are created equal.
Right,
though.
that's another problem.
Yeah.
Like it's just a really what your best option would be if you haven't bought one already is probably go to somewhere like CNET and look at reviews. CNET.com. Look at some reviews on modems and routers.
So you can
Also
get like
hit up the Wirecutter or wirecutter.com.
It really depends on how fast your internet is, because if it's like slower internet, you don't need as an expensive a cable modem.
Also true.
You could go for like a 4x4. If it's faster, you might want to go for an 8x4, and it goes up from there. So
Yeah, it's one of those questions that has so many answers. There's really no quick response to it.
just make sure you get a cable modem that matches the speed you're paying for.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everyone, for the emails and Twitters and everything, Facebooks. So that is it for our listener input segment, and I think we start now on our stories. Right? What do we got?
Do it.
Well, speaking of video games,
What you got?
I know I was looking at your story that you had posted.
Oh, which one? The Outer Worlds.
Obsidian's new game.
Oh man, this looks so good.
Dude, it's been a while since I didn't know about something like this that's coming out.
So this was just barely announced like 4 days ago from
can't
when we recorded
yeah,
this.
but
It
how
was
did
announced.
I not see this?
It was announced at the Game Awards.
It looks so good.
So
I don't
basic-
know anything about this.
So Obsidian, which was just purchased by Microsoft, this game, however, The Outer Worlds, has been in development for a couple of years, and it is being published by another company called Private Division, I think,
yeah, that's it.
and they are owned by Take-Two, which is a big.
Who's owned by and incorporated by and
their Take-Two, I believe, is the owner or the main publisher for Rockstar, aren't they?
I'm not 100% sure. but
Anyway, I'm not
I'm
sure.
just
but
looking at the
I-
track record
I
of
just
games
know
that they put out.
I just know that Private Division is owned by Take-Two, and it's one of their new sub companies they've created.
I mean, we're
And this
talking
is-
about a
this is going to be
company-
one of their first games that they publish. But Obsidian is the developer, and they
who has made Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, Fallout New Vegas, which is arguably
The best
one. Yeah. Pillars of Eternity series. I don't know.
So this is why it's such a surprise. A, they hadn't leaked any information on it, and it's obviously been in the works for a few years because it's supposed to come out in 2019.
Yeah.
And then B, they haven't done a first-person RPG since Fallout New Vegas 8 years ago.
This looks pretty cool. The screenshots, anyway.
And
The
so
graphics look phenomenal.
it's got a stylized graphic look, but looks like they've done a really good job of finding that line between cartoony and realistic.
It looks
Yeah.
like a mix of No Man's Sky and something that has good graphics.
Yeah, exactly. So it's basically what it looks like is Fallout New Vegas set in space, in
Yeah.
sci-fi space.
With better graphics.
And yeah, obviously. much better graphics, but it reminds me so much of Fallout that I'm just like, I can't wait to play it. I think it looks so cool.
Yeah. It's like a space cowboy game. Cowboy.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't know. It looks awesome.
But it just looks really cool. And like you, James, it's been a long time since I've seen something
come out of left field.
Something come out of left field and be very excited for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna definitely try not to let my hype train
Woo woo.
go too hard.
Leaving
with
the
this
station.
one.
It's
Oh,
already
man.
too late.
Because honestly, it looks like if someone were to take a good Fallout game and mix it with Borderlands, that's what it looks like to me.
Those are two words you like.
I love both of those things. So anyway, we'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I can't wait to see more on it as it comes out. The other thing that's really cool about it is the two of the guys working on it, like two of the higher up guys on that team, are the guys that originally created the Fallout series.
What? Oh yeah, no,
back
I did
with
see
Fallout
that.
1
Yeah.
and 2. And then they also worked on Fallout New Vegas.
Side note: have you ever played Fallout 1 and 2?
No.
I kind of want to. What kind of a? It's not a shooter game.
No, it's
like a top-down.
It's top-down isometric RPG.
Yeah.
So it's more like
Baldur's Gate.
yeah, you could say more like Baldur's Gate,
Yeah.
but like it's way before that. I mean,
I hear it's crazy hard.
yeah, it's back when PC games were hard just to be hard kind of a thing.
Because you had time.
Yeah,
Because it's the only
exactly.
game you have. That
So-
and Counter-Strike.
Definitely looking forward to that. Also gaming related, we need to talk about some PlayStation Classic news.
Oh yeah.
So that came out and it's a turd.
It is a shiny turd.
In no uncertain terms, they failed miserably.
Hey, Gary, what games should we put on it?
Oh, that's the beginning of how
None of the
it's
good
bad.
ones.
Gary,
20
where'd you go?
20 games, all right, and maybe
Which is ironic for the PlayStation 1. Because, dude, I remember the first PlayStation. Like, I would go over to my buddy's house. They would have
Yeah.
sleeves.
the library
of games.
the library of PlayStation games I think is somewhere over 1,200.
Yeah, we
choose
kind of
from.
attributed that to licensing and not being able to get the content releases for some of those older games.
Yeah, which
we
you know,
gave them a
there's-
pass.
there-
You know,
yeah, when that was announced, we gave them a pass
Well,
because they had the.
But back then they had CD-ROMs, and so they licensed music for like the first time ever for,
I'm sure
for
that was
video
a,
games.
I'm sure that was a
and-
factor.
Yeah.
But they ended up with 20 games, but we didn't know this until it came out. 9 of those games are the PAL region versions,
European.
so they're for European TVs. European TVs refreshed at 50 frames per second, not 60.
oh no,
So you have these games that were developed to refresh at 50 frames per second,
Trying to play
shoehorned
into a
a
60.
60 frames per second system now.
And the weird thing is, people that have hacked it, there's a setting on there that allows you to change it to NTSC, which is the United States region.
Why in the world would they do this?
So it was either a mistake or they're just idiots.
Gary, you switched that over, right, before you sent it out, Gary?
It's just a simple
on the can.
setting change that they could have done to enable
that's fine.
NTSC.
he's on the can. Just ship it.
Send it out.
Yeah.
Gary, say hi to your wife, Karen, for me.
So as these things go, of course, just like the NES and the SNES Classic, it's been hacked.
And this one was poor. This one was poorer than the other one. So arguably, NES and the NES Classic, the SNES Classic and the NES Classic, they took a long time to break into to get it. It's a lot more complicated
To hack
to
the
hack them to get other ROMs to play on them.
Mm-hmm.
People were hoping for Nintendo to do all the work for them, and then they're just like, sweet, now I have a system to play all my ROMs on.
Side load.
And Sony did one better. So in the encryption, as the hackers took apart this and reverse engineered it, they found out that Sony put the private key for the software embedded on the hardware of the device itself.
Really?
So instead of Sony keeping the private key for like a software unlock or anything on themselves, the private key, they embed that private key onto the hardware into the PlayStation, which then basically unlocks all the code.
Womp, womp.
Everything. There's been lots of people throwing tons of different ROMs on there at their own whimsy. It's not super simple to hack it, but it's way less complicated than the NES and Super NES Classic.
The real question is, Counter-Strike been added on?
Probably. I don't know. The one that
Is Doom on it?
I don't think
the
they
one
had
I saw was
Counter-Strike.
The one I saw was they got Crash Bandicoot on there.
Yeah.
So
It's still so weird to me that they shipped it without Crash
I
Bandicoot.
can't believe that. That's one of the most popular games on
Crash Bandicoot was like
It was-
PlayStation's Mario.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a PlayStation mascot, basically.
Yeah.
there. So anyway, but there's you can find walkthroughs now on how to, if you did buy one of those, it is kind of the way you can basically sideload any ROM you want.
But I mean, the thing is if you're going to do that, you might as well just buy a Raspberry Pi 3
and just do it that way.
and just use the PSCX
Yeah.
emulator. Or
It
something
doesn't
like
come
that.
with a nice case though.
Yeah.
But
You have to 3D print one
yeah,
like
you gotta-
James did.
You got to do that.
Yup.
But here's the thing: guess what emulator the Sony Classic uses? The PlayStation Classic, the same one.
Yeah, the same open source
The
one
same
that's been
open
used.
source emulator.
They were it's just a cash grab. They just wanted to get on the train.
Straight up, and they charged $100 a pop.
And they had people buy it
Oh,
like
yeah.
crazy. So yeah, it's got that open source emulator that and everybody's been using, and
Do you
And,
think
and they don't even use it that well. It doesn't emulate as well as
No.
a regular Android version of it does.
yep,
Do you think that they're going to actually make a N64 Mini here in the future?
they said no.
Yeah,
They're
Nintendo
done?
Nintendo
did
said-
say they weren't going to do it.
Why?
I hate them for that.
Hopefully,
haven't-
they're just saying no, and then they're going to do it.
Yeah,
anyway.
that-
I hope.
They got to keep the hype train in the station until just before launch. Otherwise, people won't care.
It's true.
But if they say no,
You
you know,
mean
just like the guy did for the graphics cards, right? Where he's like, "Look, we're not doing a new version.
Yeah.
Buy the old. That's going to be the leading for a long time." Just kidding. Here's the 2080.
3 months
Yeah.
later. Ta-da-da!
Anyway,
Which one of you guys believe me?
yeah.
Who believed me? You? Was it you?
I was told to say that by the shareholders.
I saw what
had to.
Elon did on Twitter, and I didn't want to do that.
So speaking of hardware, we've got some NVIDIA news, actually. Specifically, the NVIDIA RTX Titan was announced.
Ooh.
Is that worth it?
No.
I wouldn't think so.
The only reason it's worth it is if you actually want to use it for workstation stuff like
actual
computational
Yeah,
data
not gaming.
sets and things like that, because the specs on it are out of this world, obviously. It's so the 2080 Ti has the same chip as the RTX Titan, but the 2080 Ti has had a few pieces of it disabled. So you're not getting the full capabilities of the GPU on there, because what happens usually is you have these manufacturing techniques and they spec out a chip and they start manufacturing this chip and there's usually deficiencies in a lot of the chips that are manufactured. So what they do is they disable the cores, for lack of a better term, that have the deficiencies, and then you end up with
which stabilizes them,
it stabilizes the chip,
and they can sell them.
and then you can sell it as a lower a lower end version of what they're trying to get. So the Titan is the fully unlocked version of the 2080 Ti that has everything enabled. And then instead of 11 gigabytes of GDDR6 RAM, you have 24. Whoa! That's more RAM than most computers.
Yeah.
By about 50%.
And this is video RAM.
And this is just video RAM on the card. So I mean, it is awesome. It is a beast. It is very expensive.
How much you pay for one?
$2,500.
That's more money than I paid for my entire computer.
Yeah, exactly. So it outperforms a 2080 Ti in theory by probably around 10 to 20% in gaming workloads.
But it's twice as much.
This is theory on my part because they haven't announced any benchmarks. But based on what they're showing for the specs, I'm expecting about a 10 to 20% uplift. And yeah, you're paying 100% more cost for that. So, in my opinion, if you want to throw this kind of money down, buy two 2080 Ti's and an NVLink bridge and do it that way, because you still end up paying probably a little bit less.
And have better
Indeed.
performance.
Oh,
right?
and you'll have
yeah,
huge performance
like
over it.
2/3 the better performance.
Yeah, well, maybe not quite that.
Not necessarily.
Probably 50% better performance because it never scales 1-to-1, unfortunately. So yeah, that was interesting. Another announcement from NVIDIA. PhysX has gone open source as of next month.
That's good for that.
This is very good
Yeah.
because PhysX is a really neat API for video games and simulations that uses a graphics processor to simulate the physics of a game, things moving around on screen, motion, inertia, fluid dynamics, all of that good stuff. And up until now, it has been proprietary locked onto NVIDIA cards because it was an NVIDIA created piece of software. So NVIDIA has finally said, okay, anyone can use this, and it's already been known that AMD cards can run PhysX stuff. It just wasn't able to be optimized.
Now they
for
can
the
license
AMD
it.
cards.
Now they can license it.
Well, it's
under
open.
the GNU.
It's open source,
Right.
so they don't have to license anything. They can just go ahead and start using it. And so I think that is pretty great news, and I'm hoping that game developers will really start to latch on and use it now. Because
That'd be good for consoles.
It'll be great for consoles.
Can you imagine the next Battlefield game?
Yeah, with
having something
with
like
full
that?
PhysX enabled on it.
Yeah, because as of right now, it's awesome. But just imagine like you're running through a castle, and then all of a sudden a freaking tank just pummels through, and the wall falls down in a unique way in which
Every
you'll
time.
never see that again.
Exactly. So it's really, really neat, and I'm hoping that developers latch onto it because they didn't really latch onto it that much before since it was a proprietary.
Had to stay. Yeah, they had to stay. You had to go through NVIDIA to license it.
Exactly. So pretty cool. Pretty cool news. Hopefully it works out.
Now that we've talked about all of Tony's stories.
Well, they were all tied together. I didn't even start it. I didn't bring up.
Well, speaking of
Obsidian.
video cards, what's your RTX
Jarron,
experience?
I was about
James?
to. I
We're
was about.
still talking about video cards.
I was about to lead into Jarron's, but he was a jerk about it.
After this, we'll slap you with some boring cryptocurrency.
So I was supposed to talk about this last time, but I'm glad we did not. Because Battlefield...
Oh, his microphone just got cut
Ah,
off.
dang it. Let's talk about something else.
Unfortunate.
So
All right, I turned your back on.
The hurt won't go away.
now you know what it's like
Now
to be
you know
me
what-
every day.
No, I don't.
All right, Jarron.
Anyway...
RTX had a huge
It
update
did.
for Battlefield.
And NVIDIA released new drivers, and DICE released new update for Battlefield 5.
That's like two pieces of delicious bread
Yeah.
It's like they were working
surrounding a
together.
sandwich.
And it increased ray tracing performance by up to 50%. And that up to 50% number, it actually is more like 50% in most scenarios.
Awesome.
It's insane how much better it runs. When I played it pre-RTX patch, ray tracing patch, I was really, really, really down on the technology. I'm like, this makes...
It tanked your frame rate so bad.
It slowed my computer so much. I'm like, this isn't worth it.
Well, the one time you showed it to me, it crashed.
That's true as well.
We booted it up and looked at it though, like afterwards, and you put it
Yeah.
on the highest settings. Frame rate wasn't high, but the reflection
was
and stuff
pretty.
was awesome.
It's like you were trying to show us your new girlfriend and she dumped you. Nothing.
Yeah. Anyway, so I played it again after the patch. It is quite playable now. So I've on my 2080 Ti, I have all the settings at ultra except for ray tracing. I have that at medium. I'm running the game at like 1850p, 1860p, which is pretty close to 4K.
So it keeps
Around 80% of 4K.
85% of 4K.
85.
So it keeps you nice and warm and toasty in your room.
And I'm getting 60 frames per second now.
Awesome.
And it looks amazing. It's truly next gen graphics.
Do you feel like you're
I'm
playing a movie?
Almost. Like there's points where it looks so realistic. When I see something that's not realistic, it really stands out. It's like, oh, I'm playing a video game still. Like when you walk up to a wall and the wall's just like blurry, you know?
Do you ever have something come at your screen, you're almost like, whoa, like you kind of...
It's not 3D.
Ah, darn it.
It's not magic.
Dude, I see some GIFs sometimes where like they're hitting like a baseball and the ball like pings off the bat and comes at the camera and makes me like jump a little bit.
Oh, well, that's you. Anyway, so if you're really interested in a next-gen graphics game right now and you have a 2080 Ti, definitely buy Battlefield 5. I'm talking to you, AJ Jasper, because I know you have one.
That is a unique set of criteria that you have set
A
forth.
very small subset of individuals right there.
But it is extremely impressive. Before the patch, I would have denounced it as it's not ready yet, but now I say it's pretty much ready, and they still have more optimizations to go. And when they release DLSS support, if they ever release DLSS support,
Theoretically, that should make a huge difference.
Yeah, and that'll make performance even better.
Theoretically.
But it looks stunning, just like the real-time reflections that are just completely right. You don't have artist interpretations of what reflections should be anymore.
Or the problem where when you look down, the reflection goes away because it only reflects what's on your screen, actually.
Yeah, and it looks amazing. I'm seriously impressed by the technology. It's cool.
It's definitely the future of video game graphics.
So instead of them guessing where you're going to be looking, everywhere is now it follows the camera.
Exactly.
With ray tracing.
Yeah.
So it's definitely it makes me slightly consider 2080 Ti, but I don't think I'm gonna hold off. I'm not gonna do it.
Are you going to skip this generation and go for the next one?
I'm really going to try to force myself to do that.
Hey guys, hear this, because when Metro 2033 was that what it's called?
No, Metro Exodus.
When Metro Exodus comes out, he's going to totally change his tune here.
Marked. We're marking this right here, right now.
I really like the Metro games.
Yep, and it's going to have awesome ray tracing support.
Now, I don't think it's going to be as good as Battlefield 5, though, because the ray tracing for Metro, from what I've read, is all about shadow casting.
No, it was global illumination. It wasn't just shadows.
Global illumination, but that's not going to be reflections. And so I think it's going to look good, but I don't think it's going to be as amazing of a
I think
change.
the lighting will be better than Battlefield because it's using global illumination rather than Battlefield's. Yeah.
I'm gonna try and hold true. All right, so sweet. I really like to see when NVIDIA does good because they're my favorite.
Bias.
No bias. I'm not a shill. Okay, we've been waiting to have this talk for a while.
The birds and the bees.
How I'm the best Super Smash Brothers player here.
Well, that has yet to be determined. No, Jarron has been wanting to do a HomePod versus Google Home versus Echo deathmatch, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
How do you survive in all three ecosystems?
Did you just tape knives to each one of them and say it's time for some aggressive expansion? And
no, he broke a pool table cue.
Oh,
and then
yeah, that's
handed
right.
them pieces.
That's right.
Yes, all of that. So I have all three in my house. I have a Google Home Mini because I got it for $20 last Christmas. It was super cheap. I have a HomePod because I have an Apple Music subscription. And now I have an Amazon Echo because it was $1.
Fair enough.
So I've been living.
What generation of Echo Dot did you get?
Third generation.
Okay.
So it's a newer one.
Yeah. So I've been living with all three for a while, and I have some real thoughts about this. And some of it won't surprise you. Other pieces of it will surprise you, probably.
Can I make a guess that
sounds like clickbait.
I'm going to make a guess that your Google Home's your favorite.
No, it's my least favorite, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Google Home is the most annoying assistant of them all.
Why?
It talks needlessly all the time.
It tries the hardest.
Yeah. Like when you ask it to do something, it like reaffirms to you, okay, I'm turning this on. I can see that you're turning it on. You don't need to tell me that, you know?
What about for our visually impaired friends?
So
okay,
like-
then get a Google Home for visually impaired people.
so like
but
when
then
you-
you wouldn't be needed to turn on a light anyway.
Do visually impaired people need light bulbs?
They do when their friends come over.
So yeah, they got to grow their plants. And they have friends that aren't blind, I assume.
And anyway, Google, they do have some support for third-party stuff, but they're not nearly as open as Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
In their
I love my Echoes.
yeah. So I find Google to be the most annoying.
That's the number 3.
And the least helpful. I want to put that number 3. Number 2, I'm going to choose the HomePod.
Wow.
But that's just for my specific needs because I'm an Apple Music subscriber. If you're not an Apple Music subscriber, Google Home would be number 2. Otherwise, the HomePod is just kind of worthless. I mean, yeah. Yep.
I'm assuming it's just Siri.
So if you're saying HomePod is so bad that it's only redeeming quality right now is if you're an Apple Music subscriber.
Well, if you're not an Apple Music subscriber, why would you buy it?
Good question.
Because
Isn't it a hub? Isn't it like a smart hub?
It's extremely expensive.
Yeah.
It's a great sounding speaker. So if you're not going to play music on it, what's the point?
Uh-huh. Interesting.
So like I said, if you fall into that category, it's awesome. Get it. I love it for that reason. It picks up your voice better than any other system.
Mm-hmm.
The music can be playing full blast. It will hear you. For my Echo and Google Home, I have to shout when music is playing.
But can't you really? Isn't this uncomparable then? Because you'd have to compare this to the Echo and the Google Home Hub or whatever, for the HomePod to make a comparison. Because isn't the HomePod has like the great speaker, but the Echo Dot 3rd gen and the Google Home Mini.
Whatever
they're
I forget. I got it at my house.
Well,
but the Echo main.
He's already kind of quantified that in that if it weren't for the good speaker, it would be the worst.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And reviews have said how good the HomePod speaker is.
Yeah.
Everyone agrees that it sounds great. And Siri, I find actually pretty helpful. It does all the home automation stuff as long as it's HomeKit compatible.
Does it connect to your phone? Can you ask it to like make appointments for you and it updates your calendar and stuff?
if your phone's there, it will do that. So if you live in the Apple ecosystem, go ahead, do it. It's awesome. My favorite now is the Echo, but it's not without its faults.
Which is funny because a week ago, you told me how much you hated the Echo.
I know.
You're like, this is terrible.
And there's a reason for that. Echo is by far the hardest one to learn. But once you learn it, it's awesome.
What do you use it for?
So I use my Echo. So as of last week, and this is another reason why I like the Echo now, Apple Music is supported on Alexa, on all the Echo speakers now, which is awesome. I can't believe they're supporting Apple Music. I can't believe Apple agreed to that, and I can't believe Amazon.
Considering Amazon has their own streaming.
They did a big push to get people over there.
And they support Spotify, too.
Yeah. Google Home does support Spotify as well, but it's just Spotify and their own Google
And
Play
Apple's
Music.
doesn't? The HomePod?
Yeah, Apple doesn't support Spotify unless you're streaming from your phone.
Yeah, Bluetooth or whatever.
So anyway, it's not Bluetooth. It's
Yeah.
AirPlay.
It's their thing.
So anyway, Echo is
It's not Bluetooth, Tony.
It's Bluetooth times 2.
Yeah, sure. As long as you know what you're doing on the Echo, it's pretty cool. Echo, you have to specify exactly what you want it to do.
And on what app you want it to do it on.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
It is annoying because on Google and HomePod, it's a lot looser on what you can tell it to do, and it'll understand you.
Like if I want to play One Republic, I have to say, play One Republic on Spotify.
Yeah, it's
instead of just saying
pretty
play One
annoying
Republic.
in that regard. And the main function we use it for is a white noise machine. And for the life of me, I could not get it to play all night. It would play for like 20 minutes and then just quit.
How do you get us to play all night?
Play white noise for 8 hours?
That didn't work.
Really?
And even when you say loop this sound, that didn't work either. So there's some bug in there that's stopping it from doing that.
Did you actually have to go into the commands and...
So I found a third-party skill after much research and trial and error, which is why I hated this earlier, that allowed it to... that got around this problem, and it plays all night now, and it's doing great for us. So between... and also, before I get into the final thoughts, the Echo is extremely respectful of your hearing. I mean, it's the exact opposite of the Google Home. Google Home was super annoying. Echo has settings for pretty much everything. Echo will just beep at you if you tell it to.
Yeah, she goes down to her less user mode or less interaction mode where you say turn on a light, she just goes bing.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I have gone ahead and turned on this light for you with the serial number this, and I'm going to turn it on for this much, it's using this much electricity.
Exactly. Yeah, it's wonderful. And Echo also has this mode where when you whisper to it, it will whisper back to you if you're expecting a command back.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's super low impact at night.
Is that something you had to turn on, or did it do it naturally?
You can ask for it to do it, or you can go into the settings and have it do it.
I'm going to turn that on.
So the Echo's just so deep. There's so many things that will make it easier to use.
Well, that kind of makes sense since it's been around the longest.
Yeah. Problem is, it's not very easy to work. So once you get over that hump, it becomes really, really enticing. But getting to that point was pretty hard for me.
Did you change its name?
I have it say Echo
Alexa?
now.
Oh yeah, that's what we did.
Because it's the least amount of syllables out of all the options. You have like computer, Alexa.
I like computer. If my wife would have
Star
gone
Trek.
for it, that's what I was thinking. Is I would have loved to have said computer, do this.
But Echo is only 2 syllables, so that's what I chose. But anyway, there's my
there's your number
deathmatch.
1.
Yep. There you go. Any questions? Thank you. This is it. Goodbye.
That was very concise and very straight to the point.
It's a good review. So
I appreciate you.
Nice. So you didn't give any number scores, but you put them in order of most useful.
Yeah.
That's fine. I guess.
Yeah.
Meh.
And I've just said this before. If you don't have a use for one, don't get one.
Guys, I love my Echo.
I just want to sell my advertising stuff to Google.
Dude,
I think the consumer should stand up and say, "Look,
you need to.
We're buying this from you, but you need to give me a piece of the pie."
You need to watch that Netflix show Maniac.
Really?
Because there's it. So in the episodes I've seen, they don't go into this too deeply, but there's an all-encompassing theme in the background of that where your actual data and things like that is worth money to corporations.
I would love to. I would love to get a printout from Google of who they think I am.
Yeah,
what they see me as.
And that is one.
You are a 18-year-old girl.
And that is something in the HomePod's favor. They anonymize everything. They're a lot more private than the other services.
Which is why they can't. But in my opinion, that's why those two haven't taken off as
Why
much.
their integration
and
isn't
why
as
they're
good
so
and
much
stuff.
more expensive because Google and Amazon are just trying to get.
They're giving them away.
They are. If you
Oh,
made
yeah.
it through, like I said last time, if you made it through this holiday season without getting one, good for you because they were. I mean, I got 2 for one.
I saw another offer, I think earlier today for Lowe's or something, where you could get a Google Home Mini for $4 after. It was just
so
after
that-
like a coupon code.
So you had Spotify. You go up to family plan, you get a free Google Home. You had unlimited or Amazon Music, right? You subscribe to that
Sign up.
for the trial for 99 cents. You get
You
get a free Echo Dot. Then they had what's that Tile? If you do Tile, you get a free Echo. If you did Audible, they were giving away a free Echo.
Yeah.
If you mention Dollar Shave Club, you get it for $1.
And I think the reason is because I think over the last few years they have really seen the value in the aggregated data that they get to collect, and they're
believe
just
it.
like our ad revenue because and whether or not the ads are effective and get to the right people is kind of whatever, neither here nor there. But the fact that they can prove that they get more targeted ads to a person, it makes the advertisers take all the money that they were dumping into magazines and print it's still there. It needs to go somewhere. TV's even dying a little bit.
Magazines and print is the kind of advertising that you can't turn off.
Yeah, right.
It's there.
Right. Same with, but
But-
like ads and video, like TV's kind of going away. It's like a lot more cord cutters, and they're trying to find out how to.
Well, TV, billboards, magazines, the only way that you can find the effectiveness of it and track the analytics is if you give them like a code, a phone
Right.
number, a QR.
Use this
Yep.
code
But
for
if
whatever.
not, you're shooting in the dark. Whereas Facebook, Google, all these you get exact analytics back.
Of who
And
you're
people are willing
touching,
to
who's
pay
touching it,
premium prices for that.
and that's where I think that's where the industry is moving to.
It's like you're in marketing, James.
Oh man.
You have to worry about that kind of stuff, and I pity you.
I think it's interesting.
If you have a well-defined target audience,
Well,
it's actually like a lot easier than you think. But to find what they're into and to like change with the times, that's where it takes.
I feel like
that's what I was going to say that about magazines. You know the kind of person that's buying whatever magazine it is, and you know what ads will appeal to. You know,
Now-
the person buying a video game magazine. Obviously, you're going to advertise to them with things like other games, systems, hardware,
Bidets.
snacks.
Now it's the
energy
news
drinks.
It's the newspaper ad salesman that I have a hard time with.
Yeah,
with
'cause
how they like narrow their target audience because
it's
I mean
such a general.
it's-
newspaper is such a general medium,
and to
you know?
prove the effectiveness of something like that is I just feel bad, you know.
It's gotta be hard.
it's gone away.
That's why it's gone with national news. That's why everything goes online. It's just easier to track.
Yep. Okay, so speaking of your privacy, there is some heat on net neutrality right now.
Yeah, so the
Thank goodness.
FBI is getting involved with that. The fake commentary that we were all complaining about. I almost said the B word, but I said it as a family show.
And if you remember, I was one of those fake commenters.
You
Yeah.
were. Jarron was
Yeah.
actually a victim.
They used his
That
name.
seems to me to be something that you could sue over. It's like
Feels like it.
I can't
except for
believe you would
except
use
for the
my-
people you'd be suing at this point, they've discovered are probably in Russia.
Oh.
So I mean, you can take
Well,
them to
their
small.
money has some value.
You can
right?
take them to small claims.
Tony, is there anybody you could talk to? You might have a connection.
Hey, you know a Russian?
Oh, he's not Russian.
So
Oh.
so
He's from that area, but he's not Russian.
Close enough.
Well, yeah,
specifically.
does he know Boris?
No.
So Wienerface Pie has acknowledged that 500,000 of the comments were tied to Russian email addresses.
Way to keep it family friendly.
Yeah, I used the
My
W word.
name is Ajit Pai.
There's a
and I
senator
like
named
ruining things.
named Wiener.
Anthony
so
Weiner.
Anthony Weiner. So
By the
anyway.
way, I watched that documentary called Wiener. It is the most like disheartening documentary. It's the most self-deprecating. At the end of it, you end up hating him and feeling so bad for his wife.
Oh,
Don't watch that documentary.
I already feel bad for his wife.
She had such a bright future, and then she married this beanbag of a person.
So, beanbag.
Where did that?
What is?
He shows his beanbags.
Oh,
to people.
I'm stealing that though. Beanbag of a person. That's funny.
I get the reference.
Yeah.
Yay!
So Edric Pie, I feel like he's jumping on the bandwagon of Russian meddling and being like, "Oh, us too.
yeah,
that
that's
was
what it was."
we're victims too."
Yep.
But after the so the other thing is we can't really tell through all the data because they won't release it. That we've had there's been multiple Freedom of Information Act requests for this data, and they won't say it. They won't give it because there's a statute in there that says that if the data will be helpful to undermine U.S. security,
Yeah.
then it's a no-go.
We ain't giving it to you.
And so they're not giving it up.
Nope.
We just have to take Gadget Pies. But here's what they did find. Okay, nearly more than half of the nearly 22 million. So more than half of 22 million.
More than 11 million.
More than 11 million, which already puts this in favor of retaining net neutrality, right?
Yeah.
More than 11 million were fake, according to one study.
Of the ones that said net neutrality would be a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Only 17.4% of the actual responses were unique, meaning somebody clicked, wrote their thoughts.
Wow.
Whisked it away into the internet.
How does that account for the other like 32% or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know, of the ones that were positively botted.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that must be those ones must have been positive. When they figured out what was happening with the negative, somebody was like, well, let's just make a positive bot.
It's hard to hear this stuff and not get disheartened and like think your government doesn't listen to you. It's I feel like every day there's another story about like, hey, this is how your government took advantage of you. And then it's like, did you see they came out with a new McFlurry though?
They did?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out. Drops mic.
Give the people what they want, and there will be no uprising.
You make them lethargic with the food, and then you give them all the pills to slow them down, and then
keep
that's
them
the path
happy.
that you'll
Give
control
them the entertainment and nothing.
Are you not entertained? Look, the Romans taught us
What
that
you're
with the
saying
Colosseum, right?
What you're saying is McFlurries are the opiate of the masses?
No, that's McRib.
Oh, the McRib.
So of those 17.4 million or 17.4% of those comments, which I don't want to do the math there.
They can actually
What's 17.4% of 22 million, Jarron?
Dude, I don't know.
They can
You're
actually
the
trace.
kind of-
They can actually trace those to being unique comments from humans.
They said most of those were opposed to the repeal. So the people that did get activated,
It's between 3 and 4 million, okay?
17.4% of the people, so 3 or 4 million. We'll go with Jarron's numbers there because I trust his accounting skills. They were against it of the people that actually got activated. I think it's good that the FBI is getting involved now with this investigation.
I don't think anything's going to come of it.
No, nothing will come of it. But it's good to know that
it'll be on record.
Yeah, it's at least we can at least point at it next time something comes up and say, "Hey, do you remember that?"
Yeah, but then
states will just take it over. States are
matter.
already doing that, enacting their own. California's enacting their own net neutrality, and states have just been like, "Look, if you're not going to, we are," and it's just like the marijuana and things like that, where it's really pissing off the federal level.
Yeah.
So let me think. Let me try to condense this. Over half were fake, saying net neutrality needs to be taken out, and then 17% ish were real, saying net neutrality needs to stay, which is what it should have been. And then there's another 20-30% that we're not quite sure what they
were positive.
They were.
I mean, they weren't negative. Is what we know.
For net neutrality, but possibly also bots made by someone else.
Yeah. I just can't imagine a person that actually believes in free speech being against net neutrality.
Yeah.
No, 3.74. So I did the math since Jarron didn't want to. 3.74 million.
Was I not right?
You were pretty dang close.
I
said between 3 and 4 million.
Yes, you did.
He had a 25% swing.
Margin of error.
That's the thing is we're already afraid of Facebook and everybody is swaying our votes when it comes to voting season. Can you imagine having those big corporations throttle your internet if you want to go research?
Look at an opposing party.
The
party that opposes them, opposes their imagine Comcast. They're like, we don't want you to go look at this candidate who
Yeah,
is
this
saying that we're too big.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And they can just bork those sites. Oh, sorry, the DNS cache is not working for that.
And
sorry.
even the FBI can't look into that because then they'll get their internet throttled too.
And it's,
And
FBI's
how
like,
will they get their
FBI's
anime?
like, how am I supposed to see all these cat videos?
I watched The Wire. Gary, reset the router, Gary.
The Wire is our training videos. How am I supposed to train if I can't watch The Wire?
All I
In
have
other
is The
news-
Shield on DVD, Gary.
In other words, a new bunch of ineffective FBI agents hits the field today,
Right.
Hindered by their inability to watch Wire, The Wire on TV.
In a crippling blow.
Oh man. All right. So, in other internet-related news, the Microsoft Edge.
From you too?
Yes, the Edge from
Bono's
Edge.
friend?
He is adopting Chromium.
Wow. Didn't know Chromium needed to be adopted.
Well, it does.
That's the cousin to mercury poisoning.
Yeah. Freddie Mercury? Whoa.
Did
Anyway,
you see that movie, by the way?
did not.
No.
Neither did I.
Okay.
I hear it's good. It's basically like a giant lip syncing music video.
Still impressive, though.
Anyway, in a move that it surprised everybody, Microsoft is tossing out the Edge browser engine that they were using, and they're going to adopt Chromium, which is the open source engine behind Chrome that Opera uses. Of course, Chrome uses it. It used to be based off of WebKit, which Apple created, but then they forked off of WebKit a couple years back, and now they're using their own
Did
thing.
they say fork off?
They did.
I'm sure they did.
So,
What does Firefox use?
fire
Their
own.
own.
Okay.
And the CEO had words to say about this.
Firefox CEO was pissed.
Yeah.
Because now it's Chromium and whatever Firefox uses.
Those are the two.
Well, and Safari /WebKit.
Yeah. We don't count
But
that.
like, so I mean, he's basically saying, look, you're making a already big company even bigger. And they're like, once they have, because right now, Google can collect your data through all your extensions that you use through the Chrome web browser. and Chrome
Wait.
extensions.
Before you go on, I just want you to know Google's listening, so we need to tread lightly, okay?
Right.
They're going to own everything in a couple
They're
of
like,
years.
no internet for them.
Google, I'm on your side.
I use.
I love you.
There's good news and bad news with this, though. The good news is the built-in browser with Windows is actually going to be good
it's
now.
going to get better, hopefully.
Less
Less bad. Let's
and
call it
compatible. Also, the good news is supposedly Microsoft will make enhancements to Chromium so it won't suck your battery dead like the current version does.
The
I wonder-
memory leak.
I was going to say, I wonder if they're going
They
to
have
plug
not.
that memory leak.
They have not.
They-
Google's like, what are they going to do? Use a different browser? I don't think so.
I'm personally fine with them sucking my battery. Praise be to Google. Go ahead.
But they have to make improvements because they've been bragging so much about Edge being more efficient for your
Yep.
computer
Yeah.
than Chrome. So I'm hoping that'll be a good thing. Bad thing is there's less competition now, and this will not stop developers from targeting Chrome specifically. It's going to encourage them even more.
Because Chrome extensions will
Right.
run on Edge now.
yeah.
Well, not even extensions, but like websites. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
there's websites that are targeting just Chrome and nothing else, and so that's why the CEO of Firefox is all pissed.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, and it makes sense because the web should be open. Developers should be targeting the open web, not just one platform. And if Chromium takes over, it's just going to be one platform.
Follow the money.
Yeah. So that was some really interesting news that
I
nobody
welcome
expected.
you with open arms
You're
into
gonna
my
get-
home.
You're gonna get all sorts of Google products showing up at your
Praise
house.
be. All hail Google.
Jeez. Okay. Also, speaking of internet and things that use it, Jarron has an iPad Pro review.
Ooh, yes. I got the iPad
It's
Pro
pretty.
Look
12,
at this guy.
Look at
12.9 inch. It is a
It
it's
hardly looks like an iPad. That looks like something Microsoft would have put out.
it's glorious to behold. They completely redid.
Well, time out. What's funny about what James just said is Microsoft has been slightly aping iPad or Apple's, like industrial design cues for a while now.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think Microsoft has definitely created their own design in the space.
You think so?
Yeah, I think a Microsoft product looks like a Microsoft product.
I don't know.
I mean,
about
look at this.
that.
If I detach this from
But
my Surface Book 2
actually,
and held this up to here,
I can
let's-
definitely
Yeah,
see what
here's
he's
the thing.
saying
I mean,
about
Here's
that,
the thing,
though.
Jaron. I'm looking at it from behind.
It does.
Hold on. I'm gonna hold on. Don't touch it. I'm gonna take a quick photo, and I'm going to tweet it out.
Please no.
Go check it out at JDD Jensen. JDD's for ADD.
Yeah, this happened yesterday, by the way, listener.
Yeah. So I'm going to boop. Okay, and then I'm going to tweet this out. From my point of view, it looks like a Microsoft product.
See, I see it, and I just
Look at
immediately think iPad or iPhone 5e
Yeah, it kind of looks
or
like
5S. But I can see looking at the back of Owen's Surface Book 2 15-inch, it's definitely similar.
I mean,
in that aspect.
there comes a point where a screen on a piece of glass is going to be a screen on a piece of glass.
Yeah.
But I think Microsoft has done a good job in having these little design flourishes that is purely Microsoft. But anyway, back to the iPad. It is a beautiful, fast device. I love it in every regard.
I'm jealous of the processor for sure.
Oh,
That's
man.
cool.
Yeah, it is
Nice.
faster than, as Apple says, 92% of the laptops out there. I can't quantify that, but I can tell you when I load up a website, it pulls up instantly. It's so fast.
What's the most graphically intensive app that you think you have on your iPad right now?
Maps?
Maps?
Really?
Chrome. Anything Chrome related?
Hey guys, check out how fast the Verge
Praise
pulls
be to
up.
Chrome's name.
Check this out. Bam. Boom. Oh, I didn't hit it.
Nothing's happened.
I didn't hit it. Okay, here we go. Bam. There we go. There it is. Completely loaded. Isn't that
Yeah,
insane?
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
How much of that was cached from the last time you were on the Verge?
Oh,
there's a-
calling you out.
There's a new story right there, so
One.
yeah.
So 1 out of 30
What?
stories.
Images are
It
uploaded.
completely reloads the website. It's not like it gives you an incremental little update to the website.
Can I
Are
ask?
you sure?
Positive.
Can I ask?
It caches the pictures.
Can I ask
The
how much?
pictures are cached.
How much is it?
That's the hard part. It's expensive. Very expensive. It's like $1,200, something like that.
For the model he got.
Yeah, this is
What's the memory on it? Did you say?
this has 256 gigs.
So 12.9-inch, 256 gig version.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi only, no cellular.
Can this use a mouse on it yet?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
It has a pencil, which can be used like a mouse in certain applications,
Pencil's $100.
but
Right?
130.
130.
I didn't pay for it, so I don't exactly know how much it is. I wouldn't have bought it otherwise because it's just very expensive.
Yeah.
But given that I didn't have to pay for it, I would seriously rate it a 9 out of 10. The only reason I deduct it is because since it's, and other reviewers have said this, so it's not a surprise, since it's so powerful now, the software is starting to feel limiting.
Okay. That makes sense because
yeah.
it's still a mobile OS.
Yeah. And the screen is so big, so glorious to behold. It is so fast. The limitations on there are starting to feel like, why is it that way, you know?
Yeah.
How long do you think it'll be until iOS and OS
OS
merge?
10?
OS 10, yeah.
OS X, whatever. I don't think it'll ever merge.
You don't think so?
Uh-uh.
I think it will. I think eventually they're going to find some kind of like
Maybe
middle ground.
if it does merge, I bet it'd be like 10 years out at least.
Fair enough.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's awesome. If you have the resources and you need a new iPad, go for it. The full screen is just wonderful. It's great in every way.
Nice. I really want one, like super bad. I don't think I'll be getting one anytime
Well,
soon, though.
he's getting up to leave right now. Looks like you have your opportunity. Go for it.
I'm gonna take it. It's mine now.
Oh, he got it. What? Why? You're putting it in your backpack? That's so weird.
Well, you know, when Jarron's kids distract him, that's when I take the goodies.
Here's the thing: is we have an opportunity right now to mess with him.
It's
Or-
unlocked.
I wish I had my shoes so I could just put them on in his basement, all over his carpet.
It's cold down here. My feet are cold. Anybody else?
They're
You know what? We
upstairs.
should start wrapping this up so we can go play some Super Smash Brothers. Oh, wait. Really quick. I wanted to release... I'll just put it on our Facebook page. I'll put my friend code on our Facebook page. Add me. I don't know how to play with my friends yet on Super Smash.
We got a couple people that, or at least one. Sorry, I overestimated. We have one person that gave us his friend code
Yep.
on Facebook.
I need to probably
So-
go set that up.
Yeah.
They need to not have friend codes. They need to start doing gamer tags.
For
or something.
sure. Yeah.
This is friend codes.
If you
stupid.
why
Friend
don't you
codes are ridiculous.
jump into our Discord channel and James will post his friend code in there.
we have a Discord? Oh, we do.
You made this.
I didn't make it.
Oh.
Austin Beauregard did.
that's right,
'Cause He's
that's right.
awesome.
That's right.
He's Austin.
Speaking of,
Who's
of
awesome?
Smash, this is really cool. The 8-bit do put out for the
For the
Switch and
old game
Smash.
controller, right?
Yeah, so it's
This is cool.
I wish I would have seen that because I ended up buying a USB GameCube controller. It's coming on like tomorrow.
What, you bought a GameCube controller that has a USB on the end of it?
Nintendo released it. It's $25.
So
I thought they put
Nintendo
out
made
it.
They have a
an
wireless
adapter.
They have both,
Yeah.
Oh, they have both.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so Nintendo made
Yeah.
their own, but it kind of doesn't.
I'm going to pull it up because you're
it's
making me feel all nervous.
The one Nintendo announced that I knew of was a corded adapter that has 4
Yep,
ports.
that's
for
exactly
GameCube
right.
Game controllers.
So then 8-Bit Do, they made the G-Bros adapter.
Is it Doe or is it Do?
8-Bit Do.
When you say G-Bro, it makes me sound like it's a Vivint salesperson.
G-Bro.
G-Bro.
What's up, G-Bro?
G-Bro. But it's you can use your old GameCube hardware because it uses a Bluetooth connection. It switches it over to Bluetooth, which connects interfaces with the Switch, docked and undocked.
Yeah, because that's what your wireless controllers on the Switch use is just Bluetooth.
Right. And it's $20 for that. And then if you have your old controllers laying around,
You're good to go.
you're good to go.
It's only good for one controller though. So if you want to connect more than one, you have to buy multiple.
I thought I saw more than one port on
There's
that.
2 ports on it, but it's only one at a time. One side is for
Why would you offer 2?
I know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
One side is for the SNES controller, it looks like, and the other side's for the GameCube controller.
Oh, I see.
So they're different ports.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
And speaking
Still, that's pretty cool.
Speaking of Super Smash Brothers, IGN has a Sonic the Hedgehog movie poster
Oh, it
I
looks
saw
terrible.
that.
for the live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and it is seriously a creature from my nightmare.
It looks super weird.
It's
I still have to watch
terrifying.
this. I still need to watch this.
Well,
You
it's
sent
just,
that
it's
today,
just
and
a
I will.
poster,
Oh, it's not actually a clip.
not a trailer. or
So
anything.
Sonic has hair, and I mean, I guess that makes sense. But the game, he's always kind of rubbery, right?
Yeah,
He has the legs of a
like a track star.
track star, which is terrifying.
He looks like a little werebeast.
He
Yeah,
looks
he
like
does.
a furry's wet dream.
And his head is 20 times larger than what it should be for the body. And
if he's
Which is
this
par for the
terrifying,
Japanese course.
Imagine what Dr. Robotnik,
Dr. Robotnik.
And
is
another-
gonna
look like.
another thing is he has shoes, but the rest of his body's naked. And that kind of makes sense for the video game, but now it's like kind of too real, and it just looks like Sonic is naked now.
with shoes
He's
on.
streaking.
He's going to run
And
into
so
your nightmares.
all of this put together is just horrifying.
Yeah, I agree. I saw the picture too, and I was just like, "Whoa!"
From the producers
Ooh.
of Fast and the Furious.
Awesome.
You know exactly what you're getting from
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
You're gonna get a
Fast and Furious.
yes.
Name of the episode. Can we do that?
Yeah, we
Fast
could do
and the
that.
Furious.
I'm not even gonna try to follow up with the joke I had because it's not as good as that one. All right.
I just can't believe it. This is going to inspire so many people to dress up.
Nice. Actually, I think we've pretty much hit every
Awesome. Let's
topic.
play Super Smash.
No,
there was
not the Qualcomm,
Qualcomm
processor.
PC processor, but meh.
I'll
still
do it in
meh.
30 seconds.
Yeah, that's fine. Do it. But
They
it's-
Qualcomm released a new processor built specifically for PCs rather than using a mobile processor and scaling it up. And it looks awesome. It's 3.5 times faster than their 835 as far as graphics go. It has a 128-bit wide memory interface and supposedly 60% more power efficient. They're saying battery will last up to like 24 hours. It's sounding like it's going to be pretty powerful compared to their previous offerings for the laptop.
I want to know how it compares to the Bionic A12.
I want to know too. But ARM is coming for Intel, and it's coming quick.
So now you can browse longer
Browse longer,
because
and,
that's what ARM's for.
and with much better performance.
And for playing Temple Run.
Oh yeah, aren't the Chromebooks based on an ARM chip? Like
some of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them are ARM. Some of them are Intel.
They're saying you can do 2 4K HDR monitors hooked up to it at the same time. So that's pretty good.
Browse bigger.
Yeah, bigger. So keep your eye on that space. It's going to get interesting very
I
quickly.
hope so.
About time.
I like Intel being challenged. I
Yeah.
just do. Every time I see something from
Oh,
AMD,
that reminds
anybody
me.
that does that, I'm just like, good job, because
I was also going to comment on the leaks and rumors for the AMD Zen 2 Ryzen 3000
and
stuff.
Yeah.
Don't believe any of the stuff you're reading right now. It is pure garbage.
Some of it is just
really?
ridiculous.
Oh
Darn.
yeah, we're talking about these leaks are saying that for $500, you're going to be able to get a 16-core, 32-thread CPU
that's ridiculous.
that boosts up to 5.1 gigahertz from AMD.
Yeah, completely ridiculous.
Those numbers are so far out of the realm of possibilities that I can't believe anyone even published this, quote, rumor, unquote. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, do not believe any of that. Don't even think about it until AMD officially announces stuff, which will rumored to might be at CES. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit later.
Does that change socket from the Zen ones?
No.
Because that's what I'm going to go for. I think that's when I'll make my switch.
Yeah,
to the new ones when the 3000 series comes out.
Still supposed to be the AM4 socket, and the 3000 series is supposed to be backwards compatible to that. And supposedly, whatever's after the 3000 series will also use the AM4 socket.
That's awesome.
So I think that's really great. But these leaks and rumors that are saying 16-core, 32-thread, 5.1 gigahertz, don't be ridiculous. Those are bonkers numbers, especially for $500.
I choose to believe, Tony.
Don't get me wrong. I think it would be awesome, and I would pre-order one.
Why do you hate it so much?
Because I hate people that just throw crap out on the internet and say, "Hey, I heard about this. Did you hear about this? Going to be awesome," and it's all garbage. Anyway, I'm passionate about leaks and rumors. That's why we don't talk about them very much. All right, I think we're done. That is it. We're going to play
We did everything.
Yeah, we actually hit everything on the list today. So go us. And Owen, why don't you finish us off?
Hey, we hope you care.
Gadget Spot.